Welcome to the Easton.Online podcast. I'm your host, Elliot Marshall. And what this podcast is here to do, it's here to help you gain strategies and tactics and tools that are going to help you grow in your martial arts business. If you have a martial arts school, a gym, this is one of my passions, is how we spread the message of how to really grow culture and business and some ways that we do it the best with our people, with our staff, with our clients. So I hope you enjoy. Give a listen. Hi there.
Hi, Elliot.
How are you?
I'm well. How about you?
You fucked up today, girl.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
You brought Starbucks in my house.
I didn't know.
I know.
I was so tired, and I went to make that turn. I saw that Starbucks. I couldn't resist.
You couldn't resist it,
I was
right?
like, I gotta get that vanilla chai.
Okay. You brought vanilla chai.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's fine. You should have just told me that.
Oh, I don't know. It seemed like you were pretty intense about it, so I was like, I guess no type of coffee from Starbucks is okay.
Whoa, I'm not intense. No one would describe me as intense. Vanilla chai is okay because I can't make you a better vanilla chai.
Gotcha.
I don't even know how to make a vanilla chai.
Okay. So I'm safe.
You're safe. You're good.
I still had a little bit of coffee in that little cup, and you took it, and you're like, Dish. You didn't even ask me. I was just like sipping on. You're like, yoink. I was like, all right.
I suck. I'm sorry.
You're okay.
It's a good thing you love me. That's what I say about everybody. This wouldn't work. This whole thing would fall apart. That's why people complain about me, though, right? It's because they don't know me yet, and then they're like, That's fucking true. Asshole.
I know. I'm always like, Elliot's great. You
Yeah.
just gotta know him.
You just gotta know him.
You just gotta get to know him.
You just gotta get to know him.
Yep.
So how did we get to know each other? When was it? No, I want to start with you first, actually.
Sure.
Where did you grow up in Colorado?
Yeah.
Where'd you
Born
grow
and
up?
raised.
Born and raised.
Denver. Native. Yep.
Native. And you have a huge family, right?
Yeah, I have a very big family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's your Vietnamese?
I'm Vietnamese.
Okay.
You want me to go through my history?
Yeah, I want you to talk about you a little bit. Like talk about you a little
Sure.
bit, and then we'll like tie that into Easton and where that went.
Sure. Okay, so I'll start with my grandparents. So my family immigrated here during the Vietnam War, and my grandma had 9 kids. I think 2 or 3 were born here, but my mom is an immigrant.
Your mom's Vietnamese, like from Vietnam. So
Yeah,
Of course she's Vietnamese, but okay.
Mm-hmm. And then my dad came here by himself. He was 14.
Okay.
And he came here by himself during the Vietnam War as well.
Okay.
So his grandparents didn't immigrate here. He did it himself.
Okay.
My mom came here with
your
grandma,
grandma.
during the war.
Where's your grandpa?
My grandpa did too, sorry.
Okay.
And then my grandparents on my dad's side stayed in Vietnam. Grandparents on my mom's side came here with the family.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So
I'm intense and I'm slow. Sorry.
you're fine. But basically, they came here poor, built a life for themselves. And then my mom had me. And at that point, she's pretty established. She works for the government. And now I'm here.
Now you're here. Okay.
That's basically it. Yeah. I have a pretty big family. Like you said, my grandma had 9 kids. And then out of those 9 kids, they all have children and they all live here.
Right.
So then when we all gather up, it's just like this huge gathering.
Your cousin worked for us for a minute, right?
Yeah,
Kim.
yeah, Kim.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
How's Kim?
Kim's great. She just got married, like I want to say a couple years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, a couple years ago.
Nice.
Yeah. So she's doing really good, and yeah.
It's crazy, but she doesn't look Vietnamese at all.
No, that's another thing. A lot of my family is mixed.
Okay, because they married white people.
Yeah.
Like the children married white people.
Yeah. Right. Like all my cousins are half.
Okay.
Except for maybe a handful. Just on my mom's side. I don't really know my dad's side very well. They a lot of them are in Vietnam still.
Okay.
I have some cousins that are here on my dad's side, but I hardly ever see them.
You've never gone back to Vietnam as long as I've known you, I don't think, have you?
No. Last time I went when I was 7.
Okay.
And it was like kind of a traumatic experience for me. I mean, I went for my grandfather's funeral, and I didn't really know him at that point.
Okay.
So my dad's family lives in the countryside, so there's no plumbing. And it's just very, I don't know, very basic over there. So it was hard to revert from coming from the U.S., going to Vietnam, and like kind of living in this countryside for like, I think it was like a month that we were there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got really sick too. Like I got some sort of food poisoning. I just remember being really sick. I remember like knowing that like half the animals I met there were going to get killed and eaten. So that was very traumatizing as a child. But you know, it's a different life out there. They're very, they're poor. You know, they go out and they grind by like selling, I think it was like scrunchies at the time. Okay. And I would go with them, and I don't know, the culture was just very different. And then all I remember like coming from that experience was how much it kind of like traumatized me. So I haven't been back since. Not saying it's a bad country at all or anything, or it's a bad place to visit, but I just haven't had any desire.
You had a very bad experience.
Yeah, I had a very bad experience. But I don't think as a whole it would be fair for me to be like, it's a bad place to visit.
Look, I'm like this with like, I've gotten over this. Like my therapist has helped me with this. But I used to totally associate the result of a fight with wherever we went.
Yeah, sure.
So like Japan, the whole country sucks to me.
Really?
Because
I love Japan.
I know. I'm sure it's amazing. But in my mind, we went for a fight. Dwayne got his fucking forehead split open.
I think I remember this.
Right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then the only other thing that I remember is that I wanted Coca-Cola at breakfast.
Yeah.
Because your time's all off. You know, I wanted a Coke. And I could see the Coke, like right over there, but it wasn't Coca-Cola time. So they had to ask all these people, like to the next supervisor and if I could have this Coke. And I'm like, oh my God, you guys know the answer is going to be yes. Just give me the fucking Coke. Right? So those are the only two things I really remember. Which were both sucked. And I'm sure Japan was amazing. There was this ramen place.
Okay.
There was this ramen place around the corner from our hotel. Ridiculously good. But that's not on the forefront of my mind. You know, on the forefront of my mind was the fight.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But my therapist has worked on this for me.
Right.
So I'm not allowed to, I shouldn't say I'm not allowed. I try not to associate the one negative experience with the entire place.
Right. I am planning on going back to Vietnam someday. I mean, that's where my culture is. So I am planning eventually to go back there. I just really haven't. I'm not really, this is like mean to say, but I'm not really keen on like going back to the countryside and kind of experiencing that again.
Right.
Yeah, which a good amount of my family does live out there.
Right.
So if I went, it would have to be strictly for leisure and for fun. Sure. So, yeah.
Simon asked me the other day if he could, he's like, Daddy, can we leave the country? Just random. And I was like, okay. And I was like, why? And he goes, I want to see what it's like. I was like, all right, cool. We can leave the country. So, right? I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Are you guys planning something?
No, I didn't talk to Renee about it yet. This shit's too hard with kids, man.
Yeah, sure.
No, it's not too hard. We'll do it. We'll do it. So you go through high school and all that, right? And then you kind of, even when you met me, right? When I interviewed you on the steps of the cage back there, I think, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You had already been in this whole martial arts thing. Like you liked martial arts already, right? Talk about that.
So I was, it's actually kind of funny because I actually interviewed at your place before. Somebody called me and it was a phone interview. I won't say any names. No, it wasn't you, but there was somebody who called me. And at the time I mean, even now I still feel like I'm a pretty big MMA fan.
Right.
But back then I was like really hardcore, like really into it because the person I was dating at the time was fighting. And he kind of introduced me to the scene, and I was like really into it, you know. So I saw one of my friends was training at Easton at the time.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah, Tran. She's awesome. She put a good word for me to get a job there because I was looking for something part-time, and if I could work at any type of MMA, anything, I was like down, you know. Because at the time, when Grudge was still big, I always wanted to work at Grudge.
Grudge was the spot for me.
Yeah, Grudge was the shit, man. I was, so then when she put in a good word for me, and then I did get a phone interview, and I wasn't expecting it. And the person who gave me the phone interview was just like, so tell me about yourself. And then I really did not know where to go from there. And at the time I was really like excited that I got this interview, but at the same time, I'm like, I hope I don't say the wrong thing. And I just like word vomited. I don't even know what. Like, it was not a good interview. I just remember getting off the phone and being like, I didn't get the job because it was such a bad interview. Like,
Sure.
Yeah. So I actually interviewed that before and I was like, okay, I did not get this job. Like, there's no way. And I didn't. And then like fast forward to like a couple years, I graduated college. And then
What'd you go to college for?
I went to UCD and I went to college for
University
drawing.
of Colorado, Denver?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went to school for drawing.
Okay.
So a degree that, not exactly the most coveted thing.
Whatever, man. Every time I need a poster, you crush it.
Oh, thank you. I learned something.
Every time I need a poster, Jamie, I hit. I'm like, yo, Van, I'm doing a seminar. Can you make me a flyer? And she makes me a flyer. And then wherever I go, they're like, yo, who's your flyer person?
Nice.
There you go.
Thank you. I didn't know that. That's the only thing I've ever wanted in life.
To be the flyer person?
Yeah, to get props on that.
And it's probably not even that good by your standards, because I'm like, yeah.
I mean, like, I will say, like, I went to school with a lot of talented people. And in comparison, I look at my work and I'm like, God, they can probably do this a million times better.
Yeah, maybe. But but I'm saying it's probably not even good for your standards, because I'm like, yo, I need this in like 20 minutes. Like, I give you no time.
Yeah. If I'm creatively driven that day, I can get it done.
Yeah.
So whatever.
All right.
But,
So you went to school, you graduated.
Yes. So I graduated and then I was working at a feed store for dogs. So I was doing dog wash.
Very MMA related.
Yeah. Another thing I love is dogs.
This is true.
So, I got a part-time job here and I was baking dog goodies. So like birthday cakes and all of that. And it was fun, but obviously it wasn't something that I wanted to continue doing. I was just kind of doing it part-time. And I was like, I got to get out of this. I got to really find something that I really love and something different. And then I saw an ad on Craigslist for an MMA gym looking for a front desk person. I was like, oh my God, I wonder if that's Easton again. So because there wasn't really any gyms out there that would do postings for jobs except for Easton. And that was one thing I did recognize at that point was that, this is the only gym that ever puts out ads for like actual jobs, like front desk, administrative, then I was like, I bet you this is Easton again. So I put in a resume and then I think I actually got a call from you and you left a message on my phone. And then, I don't know what I was thinking, but I listened to the message and then I deleted it. And I don't know what I was thinking. I deleted it. And then the person I was dating at the time was like, so when is the interview? I was like, I don't know. I just freaking deleted the message and I didn't even write down anything. So I had to just remember what you had to say. And I think you said something like, if you can call us and we can meet on like Monday or something. And I was able to somehow get that interview and come in that day. And I was super, super nervous because at the time, I had customer service experience, but I was still pretty shy, especially when it came around this type of environment where there's fighters everywhere and everybody's really into this.
Did you know who I was already?
I did because at the time it's now in your division you were light heavyweight, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like back in the day, light heavyweight, there weren't that many fighters. So I do remember.
Yeah, I mean, I cracked the top 15.
Yeah.
One win, and you're in the fucking top 15.
Because, and then it was crazy because we had two, back in the day, it was we had a lot of, 2 UFC fighters in Denver. That was crazy because I think it was actually 3. It was
me, it was Shane, it was Nate, it was Brendan, Dwayne. Right? There was we were a fucking hotbed.
Yeah, and I remember it was and then even Rashad and GSP, I remember they would drop in here and there.
Town, yeah,
and I just remember, oh my God, I was like, this is so cool. I'm going to be part of the scene, hopefully. And so then when I had that interview with you, I was super nervous, but you do have a way of relaxing somebody when you start talking to them. And it's you kind of calmed me down a little bit. So when I was having this interview with you, it seemed like it went really well. But I was still a little bit nervous. But I remember walking in and being like, this gym is huge. Because back in the day, it was just like T's KO, like a sweaty like sauna room and like stinky, and it's like the couches are gross. And yeah, so I wasn't used to like an actual professional, like almost like clean setting for a gym. So that was like the first impression walking through the doors. And then I met you. I was super intimidated, and we had our interview, and I felt like it went really well. And you're like, we'll call you if we're interested. And I was like, okay. So I like remember walking out the door and being like, oh man, I don't know if I got this job. You know, I thought I did well, but it really didn't seem like he was that interested after the interview. And then you called me literally like 30 seconds later. You're like, you got the job. And that's...
You were great.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I wasn't sure at first.
I just wanted to go tell Larry. I was like, yo, I'm going to hire this girl.
Oh, nice.
You know, I didn't want to just like make the decision on the spot.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see how you handled... I wanted to see how you handled like that. Like, okay, I'll let you know. Uh-huh. Like, and you handled it really well. Uh-huh. So
yeah,
that was good.
Yeah. And I remember the first like day coming in, you made me pick up the phone and I had no idea what I was even supposed to say. And I remember picking up the phone and you were mouthing the words to me and I was just I was repeating what you were saying.
On the job training, motherfuckers.
I eventually just had to give the phone to you because I was just like, hi, this is Van from Easton. It was just not good.
Exactly what not to do.
Yeah. Those were the good old days where it was like we were all trying to figure shit out, you know? And like
yeah, you've been with us from the beginning of trying to figure out this big thing.
Yes. You know? And
because Denver, so everyone can understand, I don't know if we've gone over this or not yet, have we? That Denver was the first one? I don't know. Denver was the first big school that opened.
I feel like yes, it was because Boulder was still at the
for sure.
Place, yeah.
Yeah, no. And I mean, man, we just blew it.
Yeah.
We made every mistake you could make.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Especially when it comes to the front desk.
Oh my God.
We've had some fun people at the desk.
Oh, we've had some fun people. What did we do? $69 memberships?
Yeah.
Right?
It was like, oh God.
And dude, the memberships went way up, but oh my God, the turnover.
Oh, it was crazy. And like we did old school cancellations too. Remember that where it was just like everything by paper, fax, and half the time the fax would be working and most of the time it wouldn't be. And that was not a fun time.
And we were still the best around.
Yes, I know.
We were the best around.
It's true. It's true.
We were the best around by light years, not even by a little bit.
Yeah.
So you have seen every single part of this like
pretty much, yeah.
So when did you start working? When was it?
Oh God, what is it? What year is it?
It had to be 12.
I think it was 11 actually.
No, it wasn't 11.
No, it wasn't. It was the year after because I had Rambo
right
in 11, and then he was like about a year old when I started. That's funny that that's the only way I know timelines. It's like Rambo. But it was like 2012. So this is my 8th year. This is my 8th year.
We opened in May of 12.
Yeah.
Like
and then you hired me October of 12.
So yeah, we'd only been open like 5 months.
Yeah. And then I remember being like, wow, this place is pristine. There's treadmills here. What the F, you know, like
you can say fuck.
Yeah. Sorry. I
You think I haven't edited clean? You don't think the E is on a podcast with me on it?
But yeah, I was there through it all. I was there when we were like CrossFit for a little bit. We had that little itty bitty mat for kickboxing at the time.
God.
Those business ventures. I was there through it all.
We did this thing where we were like, oh, CrossFit, right? Like, and then we shrunk the kickboxing mat down in Denver to half the size.
Uh-huh.
And expanded the CrossFit. And we sucked at CrossFit. We fucking sucked. We hired Georgia, and but she didn't suck at CrossFit, but yeah, we were awful.
Yeah.
CrossFit, like we tried to go, this was such a huge mistake. We tried to go away from who we are. Mm-hmm. Right? We broke a core value. We did something for money.
Yeah. But I felt like we reversed that mistake we figured it out pretty quickly, I felt like. At least, I don't know, in my opinion. I mean, there's some good things that came from it too.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Like I feel like we've had some great members come through the door because of CrossFit that just stuck around even afterward.
And now they do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Our real estate agent, Chad Kennedy.
Yeah.
That's
true.
Yeah, he's a CrossFit member.
That's
Right?
true.
He's a CrossFit member, and now he's a purple belt.
Yeah. And then we know Park. Of course, Park
Park's
is awesome.
been amazing. Park was an amazing part of our community. Helped grow it and everything, right?
Yeah.
Now Park's doing his own thing. I think he was just on. Yeah, he's the podcast before you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that, I don't believe in regret.
Yeah. Definitely not.
Like you make mistakes, like, and you have been around for every single one of them.
It's true. It's true.
What was that time period like for you? Because we were figuring it out, right? So things were like changing here and there, and you just kind of rode through it. Like,
yeah.
You have been such a rock solid employee.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think that, I attribute that to just having a good staff to be around, because when you go into work, because the work that we did wasn't fun. Like it was contact logs and following up with people, and you get an angry call twice a day or something. Dealing with that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, I had Ian, I had at the time Kelsey, and just really, really awesome people.
Do you still talk to Kelsey at all? Or?
Oh yeah, occasionally, she's doing great things. She's doing great, yeah. Right? And I saw her recently for Bianca's baby shower.
Okay.
And she seems like she's doing really well. She's still Kelsey. I love her to death. So props to her. She's great at what she does. I follow her blog. And it seems like she's doing exactly what she was supposed to be doing.
She's still working for WAG, right?
I don't think so, actually. Oh. Well, she might be. I think she's still doing the nutritional thing, but as far as it being with WAG, I'm not quite sure. Okay. But yeah, I just know that she's doing really well for herself.
Nice, good for her.
Yeah.
I'm gonna text her when we're done.
Yeah,
Does she
awesome.
still have the same phone number?
I think so. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, she's doing awesome. But yeah, when you work with really good people, work just kind of is the thing that you just get done and over with, but you look forward to just being around the people that you get to work with because they're just that enjoyable to be around, which it's pretty rare, I would say. I think it's safe to say it's pretty rare to find a workplace where you enjoy all the people there, and I confidently say that there's a lot of people that at Easton that just make me feel happy and just feel like make my day feel so much better. So when I go in, it's it doesn't even feel like work. It just feels like I'm hanging out with my friends and I'm just doing whatever. So I think that's the biggest reason why I stayed around. But as far as the growth and everything, yeah, things were crazy. Things were a roller coaster at a point, But
Did you think? I'm sorry. I cut you.
No, you're fine.
No, go. You what?
I was just saying, things would be difficult sometimes, but at the end, it would just we would just get over it. And then it just didn't, I think about it now, and I'm it wasn't that bad, Right. At the time, I was oh my God, I'm panicking. The CrossFit stuff, for example, that was that I would say that was a pretty crazy time to be a front desk person. Because at the time, I think when we started doing CrossFit, we just got this huge influx of kickboxing members, but we just decreased the kickboxing mat. So it was just this crazy wave of people who were interested in kickboxing, but we didn't have the space. And then we would have all this space for CrossFit, but only 5 people were in there, But yeah, I mean, it's all learning experience. I think I learned a lot just trying to figure stuff out, especially when in high pressure, intense situations. But I don't know, I think about it now, and it doesn't even seem like it was that bad, because it was just there's a lot of people there to support me, and a lot of people there that just working with just made it seem like it wasn't even that big of a deal. So yeah. No, it makes sense.
When you first started, right? What did you think you wanted to do with your life? What was what was your career? What were you all right, I'm getting this part-time job at this MMA gym because I like MMA. I actually remember this answer. I remember you asking the same thing when we had an interview. Damn.
Yeah, I have good memory.
Obviously.
the last question that you asked me, you said, "What do you want to do with your life, and what do you want to do with this job?" And I was hopefully open my own gym.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's definitely not my goal anymore after seeing what you have to go through. And now that I'm in it, I'm like, F this. I don't want to freaking do this.
Oh, fuck yeah. Because you know what people do when they come into school and they're like, oh, I want to do this? They count members, they multiply by price, and they take like 20 grand off.
Yeah.
Right? They go, oh, you charge $200 a month. You have 500 students. That's $100,000 of revenue. Take 20 grand off. You make 80 grand a month.
Yeah.
I have a very distinct memory of this. Brandon Thatch, one of my fighters, came in and he was like it was, I don't know, like a busy night. And he's like, damn, coach, you killing it. You know, he's like, you're rolling. And I was like, oh, yeah? He goes, yeah, man, look at this. And I was like, okay, why don't you guess what my yearly expenses are? And this was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? So we're not even, I mean, we blew this out of the water now, right? As far as expenses. He goes, I don't know, like 200 grand? And I was like, 1.5 million. He was like, what? I was like, $1.5 million. So I can't make a dollar until we cover $1.5 million.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly. Like I'm so happy you see that point.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
So yes, those are like, you know, for everyone that's thinking about a martial arts school. Now, don't get me wrong. I agree with you. I don't work.
Yeah.
Don't work. I don't work. I haven't worked since 2012. Actually, I've never worked. You know? So, but I agree with every sentiment that you just said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I remember thinking when I wanted to open up a gym, not how easy it was going to be, but how fun it would be just to like own your own gym and just be able to like have your own space and like have your own curriculum, and then just working behind the scenes and just like kind of putting my input in for all these different aspects of the gym. I'm like, I don't want to do any of this, like plan any of this. I'll do this work that you already have planned out for me.
Right.
But that, like, the idea of like opening up your own gym, starting from the bottom, getting members, advertising, like there's a lot of aspects that go into it. And you need it. And then the hardest thing is having a legit team. And I feel like that is something that Easton has that most other gyms, I would even say all types of gyms, don't have, you know? And it took us a long time to get here. Like right. Like I said, I've been here since the beginning, and we've had so much staff that come in. It just doesn't work out, go out, you know, and it's just kind of like.
I don't think we have a lot of turnover now, though.
Not now. Definitely not now. But in the begining, it was just like us trying to figure out what we wanted too. And like,
I remember Natalie, right? Remember Natalie?
Oh gosh, you know, I actually really like Natalie.
I did too. I
did see her.
How's she doing?
You know, when I saw her, it was like a long time ago. I want to say it was like 4 years ago I saw her, and she was with her, I think it was her fiance at the time.
Okay.
It seemed like she was doing well. She looks great.
Good.
Yeah. But yeah, and I thought she was a great person. I just think she just, you know,
she was
in
a rough spot.
Yeah, she had a baby.
A rough fucking spot. Yeah, man.
Yeah. And, but yeah, I mean, she was working at a vet, I think, or a pharmacy or something like that. So she seemed like she was doing well. Right. But yeah. But I mean, there was like a lot of people that. But
even then, we tried to take care of Natalie.
Yeah. And that's one thing I'll say. I'll give props to Easton in general. I feel like it feels like even when you guys didn't have the means to do so, I felt like you guys always made sure that your staff was happy, you know? Like I felt like, you know, you didn't have to buy all these things for Natalie and try to help her out with like the baby and everything. But, you know, you guys understood her position just like as a human being, and you helped her out. And I remember that being like the impression that gave me. I think that might have been another reason why I stayed, is that, you know, these people care. Like these people aren't going to look at you as like some sort of number, as like some sort of employee. Like this seems like an actual environment where, you know, you won't get paid the most, obviously, because it's a starter job. It's just administrative. But, you know, they want you to be happy. And I think that was like one of the first impressions I got from that situation. So remove like the whole Natalie not being the greatest employee, like, but her just being in a tough situation and just being like a single mom, like trying to, like, pretty young at that point, you know, like,
She was super young.
Yeah.
she didn't even tell us. She was hiding the pregnancy.
Oh, I remember that too. Right? She was hiding.
She was hiding the pregnancy. You know, it was, and then like I could never understand how somebody could hide a pregnancy until she did it.
Yeah, yeah, and she's petite.
Yeah.
Like when I saw her, she's in good shape. You know, like she like. So I remember because when you hired me on, I think she was working for you guys for like a month at that point.
Okay.
So she was already showing at that point.
Gotcha.
But even then, I was like, I don't want to ask her if she's pregnant because could very well be that she's
just gained weight,
she
right?
Just gained weight.
Yeah, for sure.
But it was hard to even tell at that point. So, but yeah, I mean, she stuck around through it all. I mean, you guys had to eventually let her go because she just didn't show up.
She couldn't do it.
Yeah, she couldn't.
She basically stopped coming.
Yeah.
To work.
Yeah, but I think that despite that, you guys did the best you could, and I think that left a really good impression on me, anyways. In regards to like how you guys take care of like your staff and stuff. And I should actually say I feel very well taken care of here, throughout the years I've been here. And like you said, I started off as a front desk person, minimum wage. And at the time, I think it was just me, Kelsey, occasionally James, occasionally Chris Green. But,
James Bollinger.
Yeah. And it was like rough for all of us.
Dude,
like
Chris Green. I love that motherfucker.
I love Chris.
Oh God, he got arrested twice at work.
No way. No.
Yeah.
It's so funny because now you would never guess that because he's just like, he's in such a good spot.
He's in such a good spot. Yeah. But oh my God, at work, working the front desk, cops roll up.
Oh my God.
Get me one of the times, hey man, we got to arrest one of your employees. Fuck.
Oh my God.
And didn't get fired either time.
People first.
Me and Chris got into a really big fight.
Recently?
No.
Oh, then.
At the desk.
I think I remember this.
I was crying. I was pretty upset with him.
Yeah.
I wonder if he remembers this.
I don't know. He couldn't do shit. He couldn't do shit. I don't know how. God, I'm a shitty boss because, like, man, he should have so been fired. like, contact logs, right? Dude, I opened his contact logs once. He had 100 overdue contact logs.
Oh, no.
100. And I was like, bro, what are you doing? He's like, oh, man, I'm talking to people. I'm like, yeah, that's amazing, man. But you gotta work, bro. You like people might like we need to sign people up, and to sign people up, they have to get called and come in the door. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't once that we had this like contact log call.
No.
Fuck me.
Oh my gosh, Chris Green was a
disaster.
It was a funny time.
It was a disaster.
Life. I think fondly about those times.
I forgot about Chris Green.
Dude, you kept Chris for a long time.
I didn't even fire him.
I don't even remember what happened.
He moved on. He quit. Yeah, no, he quit.
Like, I'm an adult now, and I'm gonna finish this school. And now he's like, seems like he's doing really well. He just got married.
Yeah, he's doing great.
Yeah. So I love Chris.
Me too. He's doing great, man. Holy fuck. But man. Ugh.
Those are some good times. Those were some crazy times. We had like what was it? We had BB too for a while, and that was when we had 5:30 a.m. shifts.
Yeah,
back in the day,
Beverly, though, right? I like. She was okay.
I like BB, but I think she just had bigger plans. Like she was going to school full time. I just remember we had that 5:30 shift, and like, she could not make it all the time. Like it was just like a really hard shift to work. So I don't blame her.
And she
completely.
liked the party.
Did she?
I found out she liked to party.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised actually.
Okay, so here, like, if Thatch knows you, it's bad.
I was about to say, because I remember she had the biggest crush on Thatch at the time, and I was like, I don't know, like,
people,
Thatch.
fighters would come to town to train, and then Brandon would take them out, and they'd be done for the week.
Oh my goodness,
like that's
hilarious.
They couldn't train for the week from one night out with Thatch. And he'd show up the next day. Like, you can't, like, if you think you can party, you should come hang out with Brandon Thatch.
I feel like the fighters don't do that anymore.
No.
Is that just me?
No, they don't
The fighters that we have now are just so, not straight laced. That's a terrible word to say, but just like on top of it. Like they're just very serious about their training. So I always feel like, because we did have a party one time and the fighters were there and like none of them were drinking. All of them were so good. They were like still fun to hang around, but they were all just like really good about it. Whereas before, I felt like back in the day,
Thatch, bro.
even you would party sometimes all crazy too.
You've never seen me party.
I remember when I can't remember which fight it was, but I remember you wanted to go party and then Renee's like, I don't want to. And then you're like, all right, drop me off. And then you ended up.
Yeah. So, but that wasn't when that's when I was a fighter.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. I had to party after I fought.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you've never seen me party.
Oh, no, I haven't.
No way.
I've known you after you had Kanan, so.
No, not even that. You've known me in a different role.
That's true.
I don't party with.
I just only heard stories.
Yeah.
From you and Mr. Peter.
Stories. Yeah, there's stories, but there's no witnessing. Yeah, there's no witnessing.
But yeah, it's just kind of funny. Like, I just think that we have more fighters here than we had before, and they're all really professional, like very on top of it. Not saying that Thatch isn't professional, but
no, he wasn't.
I was trying to give him some credit.
No, I love him. I love him, but like, no way. Look, I think this is an important thing sometimes, like that we're talking about. Like when you like, for me, like that brought up like when you said even me sometimes, like I love you guys, right? I love all of the employees, but there's a level to this, and it's not like I'm your sensei or anything like that, but you guys can't see me getting hammered.
Yeah.
You know,
that's true. I haven't seen you get hammered.
No,
I just only have heard stories.
Yeah, around certain people at certain times in my life, you know?
Yeah.
But now, like, nobody gets to see it.
Yeah.
Like, nobody.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I think Amal gets to see it. Mike gets to see it, and Ian.
I've yet to see Ian party hard. I don't think I'll ever see that day.
That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. But you know, even like yeah, sure, I'll partake in some things, but under a very small, right? Because yeah, that's not the role, right? That's not the role.
Yeah.
Like, so I mean.
Yeah. No, it's a good thing.
Look what happened when Elon Musk smoked weed on Joe Rogan. Like the stock dropped, and not like significantly.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I just see memes.
Oh, yeah.
I just see a bunch of memes.
Yeah, well, you know, it dropped very bigly because of that. And so I'm not like, I don't, now, you know, Elon Musk can do whatever the fuck he wants. It didn't matter. Yeah, I think as a leader, when you're in leadership roles, you have to be very careful about who you allow to see you do what. You know?
Yeah,
I think
that's very true.
I do think a lot of martial arts instructors, especially in the jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai world, fuck this up. Like they, after fights or after tournaments, they get hammered with their students, and this is just not cool.
Yeah.
You look like you want to say something.
Because I'm like, I've definitely partied with my staff.
What's that? With your staff?
With my staff. Is that different though? Because like I feel like I still, like I feel like I don't get hammered to the point where I make an embarrassment out of myself. But I do. I like my front desk staff, especially. All of them are like my best friends.
Yeah, it gets tricky. Okay, so like I hang out with my staff, but like that's like Ian and Mike, like they're
That's
my
true.
best friends. You know, like I've seen, you know, that like there's a, but I won't go farther than that. But it's different. They're my homies,
Right.
and this is like, so yeah, if they're your homies, that's one thing. But if they're like, you're not partying with the first day front desk employee.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if that was not allowed, but I should disclose that information.
It's not written in stone. Like there's no rules. I just, you know,
Yeah.
like I'm not going out with the jiu-jitsu instructors and like, you know,
And getting smashed.
getting smashed. You know, I'm not at the holiday party.
Yeah.
I'm not like, I'll have a drink maybe. But that will be the end. That's for you guys. Like you guys can do whatever you want there.
I know. I'm the one going over there. It's like, you want that drink ticket? You're going to use that drink ticket? I'm that person.
So what's it like for you now? Because like you are the AOD, right?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
So you're not even front desk
I don't
anymore.
even do front desk anymore.
Right.
I do occasionally if like they desperately need somebody and there's really no one else. I'm like, okay, I'll do it.
Right. I think the same thing for Sarah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, she has to jump in.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny now because, you know, I was like, I want to get off the front desk. I've been doing this for I think I got the AOD position last year. So I was like, I do not want to do this. I've been doing this for 7 years. I want to move on and do something bigger. And
so again, for everyone, real fast, for everyone that's listening, that might be this is their first podcast. There's me and Amal, right? We're the shareholders. We're the main shareholders, and then there's Mike at the CEO, and then we have Ian and Valor, who I think are vice presidents. Yes, right? They're vice presidents, and then we have the GMs, right? And then we have Logan, who's the CFO. What's Sachi?
Director of marketing.
Director of marketing.
And administrative. So
For
we
the
have
whole
our
company,
support team.
right? That's all support team stuff, right? And then we have the GMs at each of the locations. And then after each location, if you have a 500 person school, right?
I think it is 500 now.
500,
yes.
right? Then you get an AOD,
Yep.
right? If you have a 300 person school,
You get a front desk manager.
you get a DFI,
Oh yeah, sorry. I
right?
changed it. Sorry, guys.
It's okay. You get a DFI, and then you have program directors
Yes.
from each school,
Yes.
right? And it all depends on the size of your school is how we base all of these things on what school gets what. You know, at
Yep.
first, like Jordan is about to open a school and he's about to be everything.
Yep.
Because right now we have 38 members, right? Hey, guys, look, I think it's pretty good. We have 38 pre-sales and we're not even open yet.
Yeah, we're 6 weeks out.
We're 6 weeks out from opening. We have 38 members ready to go, paid, correct? Paid and ready to rock and roll in Longmont. So you are the AOD, back to it.
Yeah. So how I got this position. So I was working the front desk for a while. And I think at the time I was, it was the front desk manager, which would be the DFI now because it wasn't really an established role yet. I think at the time Ian was just like so overwhelmed with how much he was getting that he needed help. So he gave me a lot of his duties. And then I got kind of like a weird little promotion, but it wasn't like official yet because there wasn't really a position like that yet. And then we were at a point where we got Mike announced as the CEO. I think this is what
That was
happened.
just last year. Yeah.
Yeah. And then along with Mike, that's when you guys started establishing more corporate positions. And then that's when I got offered the AOD. But at the time, I actually was thinking about leaving Easton.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Yeah, I think I only told Ian this.
Don't
but
be nervous.
Yeah,
Please
I'm
don't
not
be-
nervous
okay.
at all. No. I like this is like because at the time I was still working front desk, so
Right.
I was like I can't make a living just being at Easton. I had to be realistic, and this is before I even knew that you guys were going corporate.
Right. Oh,
So-
don't say that. We are not corporate.
I shouldn't say that. Sorry. I shouldn't say that. I'm misspoke.
It's okay. You can say whatever you want.
But
Does it feel corporate to you?
no, not at all.
Okay.
But I guess like I should say corporate positions. Like
Okay.
it felt like this is before like you guys like announced that there was going to be a CEO
Okay,
and this
got
and
it,
that,
yeah,
and that
got
we
it.
were like a company that you can actually make a living out of, because at the time I felt like this was still almost like I was lucky. I was working a part-time job, not part-time, I was still working full-time for you. But this is the first time this is a job that I can actually stay with and like do this for the rest of my life. At the time I still felt like I was living in like a fantasy where I was like,
Right.
I'll just work here until,
So I want to be a big girl.
yeah, exactly. Because I was still having fun and like, I wasn't making the greatest money like that I could possibly be making at the time. But yeah, I had
What
to
was
make
it, like 15 to 20 an hour, right? Somewhere in there?
after commissions. Yeah.
After commissions.
Like on average. Yes. So it wasn't bad money at all, but
So that's what, like, if you came in right now as a front desk, you'd make somewhere between 15 and 20 an hour.
around, yes.
Is that
yes.
your phone?
Yeah. Sorry. Should I toss this out the door?
No, just put it on silent.
I did. But it's just my Voxer messages. It's the only thing that's on. Sorry.
It's okay.
But where was I?
So you weren't making the greatest money.
So
You're
what-
about to quit.
Yeah, it's like kind of hard, like unfair saying I wasn't making the greatest money, but I was
You were not making money that you could live a life on.
exactly.
You were making
So-
fine money for a 20-year-old at an entry-level front desk position.
And then I felt like I had like this moment where I was like, I need to grow up. I need to kind of be a big girl now. So I was actually looking to become a flight attendant. And like, I was like, I went up to Ian, I told him this idea, and then he's all like, don't jump the gun yet, because I really would like for you to stay. And then that's when I got offered the AOD position. So I still feel really lucky that I like stuck around, you know, because there are a lot of times where I felt like I could have just like stepped out, or like there were a lot of times where I thought about doing it, you know, but I just never did it because I was just enjoying myself so much. So, but yeah, I mean, it just kind of shows like, because like this job, I put like my all in it, you know, like I worked so hard, and I just wanted to, and it wasn't just because like that is like personally like what I do for anything that I'm committed to, but also because I just didn't want to let anybody down. Like this team works so hard and everybody works so hard, and I see everybody committing so much time and love and care for this job. I wanted to put the same amount of effort. And I think that with that attitude, it just came with all these awesome things along with it, because, you know, along with an AOD position, I got offered the creative director job as well. So I get to design flyers sometimes.
Yes.
And I'm designing our apparel, and it's really cool. And I get to actually use my art degree, which is something that
Which is you like as well.
I love art, you know, like, you know, and like, it's kind of funny with art.
With our logo for the podcast.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny because I got this art degree, and I just was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, this is a waste of money.
Did you
like,
feel that forced fuck? She was about to say F, you know, but
yeah,
it just
sorry.
said,
I feel like I need to
fuck.
censor myself because I like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I have caught myself in front of the kids,
Yeah,
like
sure,
about
sure.
to say that word. So it's like habit now. But yeah, I remember because I went to school initially to get a computer science degree, something that like was useful, you know?
Very
And
useful.
at the time, I was the only one going to college, so my mom was paying for it. Thanks, Mom. And she was actually a lot more supportive about me changing my major than I thought, you know, because I think it's like kind of like every parent's like want your kids to be successful, so they're like go into accounting, go into a medical degree, you know. And I was like, I'm going in for art. And you know, my mom wasn't like particularly keen on the idea, but she didn't like push me to change it or anything, you know. So when I graduated, I didn't really have a job lined up, and you know, I just assumed that I would never touch art again, you know. That just is not something that's in my future anymore, because you know, I chose the worst degree to possibly go into. And then of course I go to Easton, and I'm like, yeah, definitely not doing art again. And now here I am. I'm here on my computer making apparel, and it's really fucking cool. So there's a lot of good things that came with the hard work. So I'm just really grateful for where I am right now. So yeah. It's interesting.
Thanks for sticking it out.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for taking care of me. Honestly, like I say it all the time. Like, I wouldn't have stuck around if it wasn't for the people, because it's easy to like get into the gist of things and just start hating it right away, especially like the repetitiveness of doing it. But here I never felt that, because the people were just so enjoyable to be around that you didn't even think about it. You just were looking forward to seeing your friend the next day. So that's why I kind of stood for 8 years. Even now to this day, I love going in and just saying hi to everyone. The members are great too. Like just seeing the students be happy and like just enjoy themselves and really be passionate about the same thing you're passionate about. And it doesn't have to strictly be with martial arts. Like I've met so many people here that play video games, that watch anime, like all the nerdy stuff that I love to do. And we just talk about it, and then we go and we train, and it's always fun, you know? So I made lots of good friends, not with just like the staff, but just with the members too. And it's just like a great community. It's fun. It's really cool to see where we are now. Cause I feel like a lot of the fun, like the loving culture and the friendliness hasn't changed. The only thing that's really changed is just like us getting our shit together and being more organized as a company. So yeah.
We're going to end right there.
That was great.
That was a really good podcast.
Yeah.
That was really good. You made me
Thank
really
you.
happy.
Aw.
You made my day.
That was a lot.
I'm glad.
You really made my day.
I'm glad.
I really enjoy just because you have seen it from, you know, where it started as from and like, look, you weren't here in '99 when I'm all opened, right? But you were here at this change point for us when we started going, okay, we got to get our shit together, you know, and just hearing about how, like, just the people, the people. And I was talking with Mike about it the other day or yesterday, and he's like, man, I try to read all these books to try to disprove myself that you can do it without worrying about the people, that if it's the numbers and the systems and the this, right, that you can, like, if you just do that right, you know, and you just quadruple down on it.
Yeah, it's true.
You just quadruple down, and you get to, like, it made me so happy right there at the end when you said you get to do what you love, which is art. You know, you really love art, and here you are working for us, you know, and you're doing art again, and man,
it's cool.
Thanks.
You would never think it, right?
Yeah, you would never think it.
Yeah, and then, but like, you know, you find people who care about you, and you and like they know that you're passionate about something, and they really want to nurture it. That says a lot about the people that you work with. You know, you don't walk into a company expecting them to care about you. You know, you walk into them being like, I got to prove something, and I gotta work for this promotion. You know, but for this, it never felt like I had to like prove anything. I just had to work hard and just work as hard as everybody else, and then you just get there. So
if you ever do quit, I will say that it will make me so happy because I truly feel that whatever it is that will be next for you if you quit will be so amazing for you that, like,
Aww.
that we were part of that, you know, that we were part of that, like, God damn, look at what she's doing now. Fuck yeah, it's like your kid.
Aww,
you know,
thank
so,
you.
Not that I want you to, right? Like, I don't want you to ever leave. But if you do, it will be the coolest thing ever for
yeah,
you know, for us.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
I appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate all you've done for me. I'm so happy. I'm on this podcast too. It's so weird.
It wasn't that bad, was it?
No.
Yeah.
No.
All right, good.
Yeah.
I try to
Thanks,
make
Elliot.
it. No worries. I try to make it as painless as possible for people.
It was very painless. There's no pain at all.
The biggest pain was when I took your coffee.
Oh yeah, that was hard. I was like, that was like $2 worth of Starbucks coffee chai.
All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for listening. Don't forget, go to Easton.Online to subscribe for all of our content. It's coming, right, Jordan? The first course, we are so close. Beginning of the year. We are so close for the first course. First impression specialists. We've put a lot of work in. We've put a lot of work in, especially Jordan over there. Jordan has crushed it while trying to open and get ready for Longmont. So thank you very much, Jordan. Van, thank you very much.
Thank you.